If we look at problem number 1, it's an equation. Our goal with the equations was we actually eliminated our denominators. To do that, you need to factor. So x squared minus 1, what would that break into?
X plus 1, x minus 1.
Okay, equals 2 over x plus 1 minus 1 over x minus 1. You did have to be careful on these. We always wrote down what x could not equal. What can x not be on this problem?
1 and negative 1.
Because those are the things that make the denominator 0. And we wrote that down because if we get those for an answer, we have to throw them out. Okay, now since it's an equation, we can multiply by whatever we want. So we just multiplied by everything on the bottom, which in this case is an x plus 1, x minus 1. So in the first fraction, everything cancels. In the second one, we can drop. And the last one? Okay. So we are left with a 2x equals 2 times x minus 1 minus 1 times x plus 1. So if we distribute, okay, combine like terms. If I subtract my x over, I get x equals negative 3. Is that an okay answer? Yes, the only thing we couldn't have is positive or negative 1, so negative 3 works, and that is my answer to this. So with the equations, our goal was to get rid of the fractions. So we had to figure out what to multiply by to cancel all of my denominators. All right, any questions on this one? On the back of this handout, second page of the handout has inequalities, so I'd like to work an inequality to review. I'm going to do problem 8. Go ahead and just put this on your handout or on your notebook paper. It's going to be out of order, and that's okay. Let's look at number 8 together. With these inequalities, can you just multiply by what's on the bottom? No, because we talked about how in an inequality, if you multiply by a negative number, you have to flip your sign. But if there's an x, we don't know if it's positive or negative, so we can't do that. What do we do instead? Exactly. Our goal was to get a fraction, the inequality, and 0. So we had to put everything on the same side. And then our goal was to combine those into a single fraction, so they need a common denominator. What are you going to have to multiply the first one by? On top and bottom. And the second one needs x plus 1 on top and bottom. So if we do that, we get 4x plus 12 over x plus 1, x plus 3. I'm just going to treat this as a negative 2 and distribute that. So negative 2x minus 2 over x plus 1, x plus 3. So now my denominators match. We can make it into a single fraction. Add your numerators. 4x minus 2x is 2x. 12 minus 2 is 10. So this is our goal, to get something in this form. A fraction, the inequality, and then a 0. How does that help me? What do I do now? Remember we made that sign line, that number line? and we set each piece equal to 0. So the top, if you do 2x plus 10 equals 0, we get negative 5. What would make x plus 1 0? Negative 1. What about x plus 3?
Negative 3.
So this time we have 3 numbers to plot. You have to put them in order, small to large, so we have negative 5, negative 3, and negative 1. Alright, then we had 2 options. We could either plug in numbers or look at your graphing calculator. Most people, it seemed, preferred the plugging in numbers. When I was walking around, that's what most of you were doing. But you're certainly welcome to use the calculator to check. So give me a number smaller than negative 5. Negative 6. What about in between?
Negative 4. Negative 2. 0.
Okay. And we're going to plug these things in, and all I care about is if it's positive or negative. If I put in a negative 6, on the top I have negative 12 plus 10, that's negative. Negative 5 times negative 3 would be positive. If you take a negative divided by a positive, you get a negative. If I put in negative 4, negative 8 plus 10 is positive. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive. Positive divided by positive is positive. Make sure we're getting this down. If I put in negative 2, negative 4 plus 10 is positive. Okay, negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1 times 1 is negative. Positive over negative, negative. 0. So 10 over 1 times 3, so positive over a positive. Does everybody understand how we got those? Which ones did I want? The positives. You do have to watch on these. Equal to means brackets, but remember anything on the bottom could never have a bracket. So I didn't have the equal to on this, but if I did, the negative 1, the negative 3 would still have to have a parentheses. But I just wanted the positives, so that would be this piece and this piece. So negative 5 comma negative 3, union negative 1 to infinity. Questions? Good. So, we have short classes today. I have you for about 15 more minutes. What I'm doing, I've worked 2 of your problems for you. I am taking another 2 off this handout. So that only leaves you 6 problems to do on your own. You get to skip problems 5 and 10, so the last one of each type. So you do not have to do 5 or 10, and I've already done 1 and 8 for you. So you have the rest of the class to work on the remaining ones and ask me questions